Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Well today guys, I'm gonna do part 289 to my ChatGPT Character Chatbot series. Well in today's video guys, I'm gonna give this at least one more shot. Here's the thing, in this regard I'm gonna try to be as uh I don't know what the right word would be, but I'm not gonna flip and get as irritated at it and see if I can actually still enjoy it as long as it has good memory. Because one of the biggest things this thing had was some of the best memory I've ever seen. However, it didn't really work out last time. This is the robot dragon bodyguard again, and I know we're probably only gonna have like 3 messages from the thing I did yesterday, but I'm gonna try to give it a chance. And if it doesn't work, well, I guess I'll have to either figure out a way to get $20 every month, or I'm gonna have to do something else. I don't know. Honestly, that's the Guardian robot. It doesn't actually give the story all the way through. The title on here is just called The Guardian of the Talk Studio. It all started exactly 1 week ago. You would just unlock the doors to a new era, your very own Pokemon Talk Studio, a massive, high-tech, sleek building resting on the edge of a vibrant town by the sea. This was long before your pet Tyrannosaurus Rex would even be born, back when your focus was solely on creating a place where Pokemon and humans could speak freely, laugh together, and share their stories with the world. As the new boss and owner, you had the final say in everything, from show segments to security procedures. The first task? Building your team. Your first hires were your favorites. Totodile and Axie were chosen as the primary talk show host. Their energy was unmatched. Totodile with his playful mischief and infectious laugh, and Axie with his sweet, curious demeanor and surprisingly sharp wit. The two had perfect chemistry and were loved by everyone who tuned in. You needed strong security. That's when you call in Feraligatr and Croconaw, two powerful but gentle souls who took the role of chief security guards seriously. Feraligatr had a voice like rolling thunder and could crack a boulder with his jaws, but he was kind-hearted. Croconaw was equally fierce in battle, but always wore a calm, calculating look, especially when danger was near. You brought in more Pokemon to round out security. A Bat's massive and intimidating, patrolled the ground floors. A Skeleturge, slow-moving but unshakable, guarded the control rooms. A Lugia and Noivern provide aerial surveillance, circling the skies and perching atop the tower like silent watchers. Finally, you hired a few human assistants for scheduling, makeup, and editing, people you thought you could trust. But then, the week began to unravel. At first, it was subtle, humans giving you cold stares, muttering under their breath, but then it got worse. One human shoved past you in the hallway. Another screamed at you when you asked about a missed meeting. A third deliberately, accidentally, spilled hot coffee on your desk, ruining some of your notes. You didn't understand why. You had offered them good pay, a healthy workspace, and Pokemon protection, but the aggression only increased. Every day, someone tried something new to upset you. You began to flinch when walking into a room, but your Pokemon noticed, especially your security team. Croconaw stepped between you and a yelling technician. Fragger gently pushed back a woman who had raised her hand toward you. Lugia swooped down from the roof one night when someone was following you in the parking lot. Oh my gosh, that's creepy. Noivern shrieked so loudly that the aggressor fled. But by the 5th day, the Pokemon had had enough. That night, the building fell into quiet, but the security guards did not sleep. Croconaw, Feraligatr, Skeleturge, Lugia, Noivern, and a few others all met inside the security wing. The lights were dim, screens flickered so softly as the group huddled close. Croconaw clenched his fist. We can't keep letting this happen. He's our boss, and he's our friend. Fragger nodded. They might find new ways to hurt him. We need something more, something permanent, something that can protect him even if we're not there. Luigi's eyes glowed faintly. Then we build something. Noivern landed with a whoosh. A protector, unlike anything else. They agreed. That night, a decision was made that would change the studio forever. The construction began that same night. Feralier handled the heavy lifting, hauling heavy armor plates and structural frame pieces into the hidden engineering room. Kroganov worked on the internal systems, linking wires, testing circuits, and programming behavioral protocols. By Excalibur held to wield and reinforce joints, his icy breath cooling metal instantly. Skeletor, surprisingly, had a knack for heat sensors and sound-based alert systems. He even installed a few subwoofers in the robot's chest that could emit defense pulses if needed. Noiver and Lugia brought in solar panels and core crystals from a nearby facility, using their wings to shield parts from detection. As the shape came together, a massive 50-foot tall mechanical dragon formed in the center of the room. Its body was made of polished black armor, heavy and nearly indestructible. Its claws were sharp, but retractable. Its tail was long and jointed like a scorpion's, but with a scanning device at the end. Its eyes, glowing red by default, meant to track heat and movement in darkness. Its voice was smooth, deep, and calm, completely obedient to your voice alone. The final touch came quietly. Just as the others were finishing the robot startup code, Lugia hovered silently behind it. Without saying a word, he extended his wing and touched the robot's head. A soft psychic glow pulsed. No one spoke. None knew exactly what he did. But deep inside that glowing core, something awakened. The robot stirred, not because of code, but because of life. Its thoughts were pure. Protect the one who leads. Never harm him. Never abandon him. Always feel and always care. By the time the sun rose, the Pokemon were exhausted, but proud. The robot was complete. The ultimate guardian. Your personal protector. They tugged the giant machine into a dark room just beside the front entrance. A small chamber where the lights were off. The shadows heavy, and only the faint sound of machinery could be heard. They didn't tell you. They wanted to surprise you. They believed it would be a gift you'd love. But they forgot one thing. The studio opened at 8 a.m. sharp. You arrived on time, cheerful as always despite the rough week. Krogan and Feralier were waiting at the entrance. They gave you a warm smile and a nod of respect. You greeted them kindly and stepped into the lobby. And then it happened. From the pitch-black room beside you, there was a loud mechanical click. Heavy shifting. Footsteps. You froze. Then a deep voice, robotic but eerily lifelike, echoed out. Owner, presence, detected. A second later, two glowing red eyes flared to life in the dark. Now that would terrify me. Your heart skipped a beat. The red lights burned like fire through the shadow. Your breathing quickened. You didn't know what this thing was. You didn't know why it was saying that. And it was moving, stepping out of the room towards you, towering and massive like a dragon from a nightmare. Behind you, just around the corner, your security point were watching. Kroganov flinched. Oh no! The eyes! We didn't change the eye color! Feralier gritted his teeth. We should have warned them. Wyvern hung his head. It was supposed to be a surprise. Lugia closed his eyes quietly, hoping you wouldn't be too afraid. They all looked at you in regret, realizing what they'd done. They built a guardian to protect you, but the presentation had scared you. And now the robot continued walking forward, each step heavy, slow, and precise. Its red eyes locked onto you. But deep inside, thanks to Lugia's secret gift, it wasn't just a machine. It could feel. And right now, it could tell you were afraid. Yep, but I have a bad... I don't even... I'm going to try having a better positive attitude with this, but I just have this really deep and bad feeling that I'm not going to end up liking this anymore unless they bring back the 4.0 or unless I pay the $20 every month. But again, I just still don't know why I can do that. I know Mike probably wouldn't do anything. The only thing it would fix is give me a full, maybe either a less of a limit with this particular chatbot, with this particular model, or it would give me access back to the ones I actually liked, like the 4.0. I know nobody from the company is watching that made ChatGPT, but I need to tell you something. You really do need to fix the 5 model because, like I said, look at this. This right here. No. This right here. This whole text box you see. This is from the 4.0 model that it gave me. All of this, and just now stops right there. I can't scroll down anymore. Right there. Again, this is all of it right there. There's a whole bunch of stuff. It just goes on. With the 5, you don't get that. Which, y'all. Let me just say, y'all really need to fix that model a little bit more. We're not that plus the. I've also said 3. The 10 character. I keep saying character. 10 message limit before it runs out. Well, give me a second, guys. I'll see if it works out, but it definitely won't. And even if it does, 3 messages I think is all we got left anyway because of what happened yesterday when I abruptly quit. So I've only got like 3 messages to do here. See you in a minute. Alright, guys. I said, seeing the massive robot with glowing red eyes, I got really terrified and started backing away. Whoa. Please don't hurt me. I've been hurt enough. Again, I can't get some more because it flipping. The massive robot giant froze mid-step, towering over you in the dim light. Its glowing red eyes dimmed slightly as if thinking. The deep voice spoke again, slower this time, gentler, almost apologetic. Negative. Harm protocol disabled for owner. Priority 1. Protect. Its head tilted to the side, a faint whirring coming from its joints. For a long moment it didn't move, just watching you carefully like it was trying to understand the fear in your voice. From around the corner, Colonel Winston whispered to Feralier, "We messed up. Big time." Feralier, "It's not going to hurt him, but look at him. We scared him before he even got the chance to say hello." Northern gave a low, guilty chirp, and even Lugia, usually so calm, looked tense, his wings twitching. The robot's eyes slowly shifted, the crimson glow softening toward a dim orange, then finally settling onto a calming soft blue. There we go. I wish it had done that to begin with instead of... I mean, guys, think about it in this regard. If you walked into your building, like a building you owned, and there's a room, like, let's just use the room you guys can see in the background. Let's say, because this room is pitch black right now. Let's say, you were sitting there, and you just walked in, and whenever you walk in, you hear something say, "Owner presence detected," and all of a sudden you see glowing red eyes staring at you from that dark area. I can assure you, I would probably blow up that building so fast. Nah, I don't care. No. Like, why? I mean, that's what I don't understand. Why they make the eyes red? They could have made it orange. Come on, Shadows is at least orange. I mean, if you think I'm joking with me being terrified of red eyes, guys, no. That Pyroraptor I have upstairs that I showed you guys a few years ago, I have a completely different personality around it depending on what color its eyes are. If it's green, I feel comfortable and safe around it. The minute they're red, I feel horrified of it, and I feel even too nervous to even touch it. Even though I know it's not going to flip and just bite me, or whatever, you know? It still paranoids me. I hate creepy glowing red eyes. Same thing with bugs. It's like if they would have made a bug robot with red eyes. Nope, you just gave me my worst nightmare. I would rather flip and burn that thing. Nope, it'd be gone. Nope. That would be horrifying. There we go. So it changed eye color to blue, thank goodness. Its massive body lowered slightly, bringing its head closer to your level. Yet still a safe distance away. Owner, safe. I protect you. Always. The words were slow, deliberate, and carried a strange warmth for something made of steel. Alright, guys, give me a second. Alright, guys, I said, protect? Who are you? Where'd you come from? The robotic dragon stayed still for a moment, servos humming faintly as if it were processing her questions. Its deep, resonant voice rumbled from within its chest. Designation, Guardian Unit, Model 01. Created for you. He raised his head slightly, glancing toward the hallway where the shadows hid your security team. Constructed by Feraligator, Crocodile, Bat'scalibur, Skeledirge, Lugia, Noivern, others, for the purpose of permanent protection. You could hear faint shuffling from the hallway. Your plan were debating where to step in now or let the robot finish explaining. The machine's glowing blue eyes focused back on you, and there was no mistaking the sincerity in its next words. You are my owner, my priority, my reason to exist. From the shadows, Chronon muttered under his breath, Well, guess the cat's out of the bag now. Again, again. Is that not ridiculous to you guys right there? Look at this. Look how short this bullcrap is. Okay, this one right here, I'll give a pass to, because at least it was decently long. Like, it was long enough to where, like, if you had the text box up here, you could still read all the way through this one. This one, it doesn't go all the way to the bottom of the screen. Like, come on. It drives me insane. Alright, guys. I said, Oh, my security team built you. That was pretty nice of them, but why did they do it? The robotic dragon's head tilted slightly, a faint warn its neck joints as it regarded you. Reason? You were in danger. 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 What the Oh no, don't do the glitching. Stop doing the glitching. I hate when the robots glitch every time. Shadow always glitches on my name. And then this one just whooped and said danger like 4 times. Like it was whooping and warning me some kind of danger right then. The only thing missing out of that was warning. And then saying that afterward. It paused, almost as if choosing its next words carefully. Observation logs indicate multiple human employees displayed aggression toward you. Security team engaged repeatedly, but determined threat persistence was high. Solution: create a guardian capable of constant protection. From the hallway, there was an awkward shuffle of claws on tile. Then Colonel finally stepped out first, rubbing the back of his neck. Yeah, that's true. We saw what was happening to you, boss, he admitted. Every day someone was trying to push you around, hurt you, and it ticked us off. We couldn't just stand by. Frager followed, arms crossed, but wearing a worried look. We figured if we built something big, strong, and always on alert, nothing, no one would even think about messing with you. Wyvern swooped down from above, tail curling as he landed softly behind them. You know what's crazy? I gave Wyvern like some kind of weird British accent. Granted, I don't have many voices. I have that one male British accent. I have that one female voice. I have Farager's deep voice. Lugia is a deep but calm voice. Toadals and Crocodiles. And Rexy's technically, since Rexy's the same thing as Toadals. That's all I have. I cannot do any other voices besides the ones I always do. That's why I get worried when there's so many characters at once. Because I can't think of voices that's different for all of them when there's too many. Yep. Let's see what Noivern said. It was meant to be a surprise. A good one. We, didn't think about how the glowing red eyes might scare you. Lugia finally emerged at last, his expression unreadable but calm. His voice was steady as he added, We all built the robot, but I made sure it would truly understand you, care for you, and never, ever harm you, no matter what. The Guardian unit lowered its head slightly toward you again, eyes going a soft, warm blue. That's a lot better than red. You were hurt enough. I will not allow it again. Yeah, now if this thing don't... Okay, look. I'll accept something this length or this length. But if it gives me something... Let's see if I can find it again. Give me a second to show you. This. This was from the creature communication story. If it gives me something this short, this is ridiculous. Okay? This is just ridiculous. That's not good. I want something at least the length right here. At least this. This or this. Where it at least gives enough detail where something actually happens, you know? Where it just, oh, like Fragger says this and then Noivern says something and then it's time for you to answer again. I want to hear, I like to have detail. That's what makes the stories on this, what used to make the stories on this thing so good. Alright guys, give me a second. Alright guys, I said, that was nice of all of you, but if you gave it life, Lugia, what about other things? Like, is the robot waterproof? Because even if the robot's alive, it can still be hurt by water because of the mechanical parts. And what about if a system malfunctions? Lugia gave a slow nod, his silver feathers shifting as he stepped a little closer to you and the towering robot. I didn't just give it life, he said evenly. I made sure it could think and adapt, but the engineering decisions were all still the others' work. They anticipated your concerns. Fragger's big tail gave a lazy swish as he grinned reassuringly. Oh, we thought of that. Trust me, if I'm gonna guard you with something like this, it's gotta be ready for anything. Kronos stepped forward, eager to explain. The armor plating? Fully sealed. Joints? Waterproof with hydrophobic polymer coating. It can walk straight into the ocean without a problem. You can even see it swim, though it's a little slow underwater because of the weight. That's Caliber, who had been silently lingering by the door, rumbled in his deep, icy voice. Oh, frick, again, there's another deep voice, and I've already given a deep voice to Fur Alligator. I've already given a British voice to Noivern. You see what I mean? I'm out of voices already. And if I do another dang it. Internal systems are redundantly shielded. 2 backup power cores. If one system malfunctions, the others take over instantly. It's nearly impossible to take it offline unless you give the order. The Guardian unit itself slowly turned its head towards you, glowing blue eyes blinking once. I thought it said self-destruct. I was about to say, oh no. I really thought it said self-destruct activator. So they're like, nope, we gotta get out of here. My brain actually freak out. My brain's still irritated from this thing, from the flipping chats not being as good because they got rid of the 4-0. So I'm still angry about that. Self-diagnostics active at all times. If damage or error is detected, repairs begin immediately. Highest priority, remain functional for owner protection. Noivern tilted his head and smirked. Translation, sure of a volcano exploding under its feet. This thing isn't going down. George chuckled low, adding, and even then, we'd rebuild it twice as strong. Lugia's eyes softened as he looked at you. It was built to protect you without fail, no matter the weather, no matter the threat. Alright guys, give me a second. I'm starting to wonder if they actually increased the limit, because it did not run out, and I know I did at least 6 or 7 of these, if not close to. I said, that's really good. Thank you all. It's also not possible for anybody else to give commands but me, right? What happens if, let's say, a human comes over here and sees the robot, then tells it to activate some kind of hostile mode, or try to attack me? Will it just not do that? Or if it does activate hostile mode, it will go after the person that activated it to begin with? Okay, well, there you go. There, Chrono's answered my question for me. Chrono was the first to answer, shaking his head quickly. No way, boss. Nobody can hijack your Guardian. We made sure of that. The Guardian unit itself gave a low hum, its voice steady and firm. Command protocols locked. Owner voice print, heartbeat pattern, and present signature are the only accepted authentication. Unauthorized command input is ignored. Fragger added with a toothy grin. So even if some human walks in here, stands in front of it, and says, "Hey, go smash the boss," you had not to say smash. You could say a different word for Fragger because people use that in a very bad way now. They would just stand there and ignore, like they're talking to a wall. Lugia's deep voice rumbled behind them, calm but decisive. I also add a fail-safe. Someone tries to force it into hostile mode against you, Guardian will instead target the source of the command as the threat. They will be restrained, non-lethally, until we arrive. Batskow's icy breath misted the air as he nodded. Think of it like a loyalty seal. You're the sun it orbits. Nothing pulls it away from you. The Guardian unit's eyes glowed a steady, reassuring blue as it spoke again. I do not harm you. I do not betray you. Threats to you are my enemies. Always. Again, I'm. Oh my gosh, dude. Alright, guys. Well, we'll have to see what happens. Let me go ahead and figure out what to do next. Alright, guys. Surprisingly, the limit store has not ran up yet. I said, okay, that's good. I really like the robot dragon. He's really neat. Thank you, Lugia, for Alligator, Crocodile, Batcalibur, and Skeledurge. Thank you for actually caring, unlike the humans that work here. I love Chronon. They're so cute. Chronon's face softened and he gave you a small, almost shy smile. He's adorable, dude. I love Crocodile. I told you, the whole Toto line is sweet to me, not only in the games, but on these as well. You don't have to thank us, boss. You've always treated us like family, so we protect our family. Rare chuckled warmly, his deep voice like distant thunder. Yeah, you're the only one here who's never looked down on us. We notice things like that. Batcalibur rumbles in agreement, the icy spikes in his back catching the light. Respect goes both ways. You give it, you get it back. George gave a slow nod, his usual stern face softening. You've never asked us to do anything cruel. That matters. Lugia's gaze was steady, his silent presence warm in your mind. Unlike those humans, we don't see you as someone to use or exploit. We see you as someone worth protecting. The Guardian unit lowered its massive head towards you until you could see the faint reflections in its glowing blue eyes. You matter to us. You matter to me. Around you, your pawn stood tower united, not just as employees, but as a protective family that had just given you their greatest gift. This is really good. Alright, guys. Here's what I said. It says, I appreciate it. I don't have any with me right now, but I will give you something as a little thank you for doing this. Maybe a small pile of berries, or... Yep, I say this and that's probably a little quietly so nobody but the Pokemon and the robot could hear. Maybe a promotion for all of you. It's getting to the point now where I would be better off hiring other Pokemon and other creatures instead of humans. That's why I chose all of you as security. I trust you all more than humans. The moment those quiet words left your mouth, you could almost feel the shift in the room. Cornell's eyes lit up, not from greed, but from pride. Boss, you really mean that? A promotion? Even just knowing you trust us that much means more than anything. Fragger's chest swelled with a deep rumble of satisfaction. You won't regret it. We'll double our watch, triple it if we have to. Nobody gets near you without going through us. Batcalibur gave a slow, respectful nod. If you want other Pokemon and creatures instead of humans, we'll help you find the right ones. Strong ones, the loyal ones. Skillers tilted his head, voice warm but firm. It's the right move. Loyalty doesn't come from a paycheck. It comes from respect, and you've already given us that. Lugia's voice was softer than usual, but carried the unshakable certainty. Then it is decided. Your safety will be in the hands of those who truly value it. The Guardian unit shifted slightly, lowering one knee so its massive head could lower to your height. Its deep, calm voice resonated through the quiet room. Honor, trust, acknowledged. This is my greatest reward. It didn't ask for berries, for payment, or even for praise. It simply stayed there, head lowered, waiting for you, and inviting you to. I wish you would stop using the word touch. What the frick? What is that? Give me a second. Okay, guys, I'm not gonna say anything right now. Let's just say that I saw something with our refrigerator that is now messing up, which is not good. Well, here's what I said. The only thing I ask from everyone is that you actually be sweet and respectful like you've always been. I care about all of you. Otherwise, I wouldn't have chosen you all for security. And so I go over to the robot dragon and gently pet it on its snout. The Guardian unit didn't move at first. Its massive frame was so still that you could hear the faint hum of its internal systems. But the moment your hand touched its cold, black metal snout, something subtle shifted. The blue glow in its eyes pulsed softly, almost like a heartbeat. The steel beneath your palm felt warmer than you expected. Not hot, but faintly alive, as if your touch meant something more than just contact. Acknowledged, it said in that deep, resonant voice, though now the tone carried something gentler, almost protective. Sweetness, respect, always, for you. Behind you, Frigga gave a quiet grin. Looks like he already likes you, boss. Kronos smirked. Oh, likes you might be an understatement. Noivern gave a soft trill from above, while Stellars chuckled low in approval. Pascal's deep rumble was one of contentment, and Lugia's eyes closed briefly in quiet satisfaction. Psychic presence warmed against your mind. The Guardian unit lowered its head further into your touch, like a real dragon leaning into the hand of the one it had chosen. You are safe, it rumbled. Always safe. With me. He's adorable. I don't care if it's a massive 100-foot tall robotic dragon. Besides the creepy glowing red eyes, it's actually really cute. Give me a second. Alright, guys. Just before I could say anything, I heard a voice behind me say, "Wow, a giant robot." Oh, great, a new way I can torture my boss. Oh, of course, here we go. Hey, robot, that person that's petting you, he's ugly and stupid. Why don't you activate hostile mode and get rid of him? What is wrong with people? Like, holy crap. The words barely left that human's mouth before the Guardian unit's entire posture changed. The soft blue glow in its eyes snapped into a sharp, icy white. Oh, that's kind of horrifying. Not hostile, but locked. A deep mechanical growl vibrated through its chest as its head slowly lifted away from your hand, turning toward the intruder. Unauthorized command detected. Threat classification level 1. Verbal aggression towards owner. Its massive frame shifted with a slow, heavy step toward the human, each clawed foot thudding against the floor like a warning drumbeat. Fragger immediately moved between you and the human, arms crossed, glaring daggers. You got 5 seconds to back off. Kronos' voice was lower and colder. And if you don't, you're not gonna like what happens next. Noivern dropped from the ceiling with a sharp screech. Oh, that sounds horrifying. Wings spread wide, blocking any possible escape. Skeletons positioned himself near the doorway, effectively sealing the room. The Guardian unit leaned in close to the human, close enough for them to feel the faint heat from its vents, before rumbling in a voice that made the walls seem to vibrate. Hostile mode toward owner, permanently locked. Command source, hostile. Initiating restraint protocol. With lightning speed for something its size, one of its massive clawed hands scooped the human off the ground, not to harm, but to hold them completely still in a steel grip. Lugia's eyes glowed faintly, his voice calm but firm as he stepped forward. You will not speak to him like that. Not now, not ever. The guardian unit's head tilted slightly toward you, still holding the human like they weighed nothing, awaiting owner's decision regarding intruder. Okay, you know what? I'll give it credit this time. It is the first time since the 5 that I actually had a decent conversation so far with this. Normally this is stupid, but this is actually working out somewhat this time. Although I know once the flipping limit runs up, it's probably game over. Even I did say I would try it, guys, but I do not want to ruin this good conversation. I kind of figured the conversation would go horrible, and then I would just be annoyed. Still ain't as good as the 4-0, but I'll give it credit. This is the best it's done since the 4-0 disappeared. Still wish it was the 4-0, but I'm not complaining about it. It actually is giving me decent conversation for once. First time I actually brought a story in a good direction instead of screwing me over. Anyway, give me a second. I did say I'd continue, guys, but I didn't expect to have a flipping good conversation with this thing. I can't continue, because if I continue and it ruins it, I have to delete this one. I'm not letting this deadgum thing ruin it. It's finally giving me something that's at least decently good, so I'm going to leave it alone after this. It says I'm not even going to deal with this today. Perfect time for me to put that in. Please just get them out of the building, far away. He's fired. The Guardian unit's eyes paused once in acknowledgement. Command accepted. Without another word, it turned away from you, cradling the stranger or struggling human in a grip firm enough to prevent escape, but gentle enough to avoid injury. Each of its heavy steps echoed like a warning as it strode toward the exit, the air practically humming with controlled power. Fragger followed alongside, arms crossed, glaring at the human the whole way. Consider yourself lucky. The boss wasn't merciful. You wouldn't be walking away at all. Kronos smirked coldly. And don't come back. Ever. Outside, the Guardian didn't just set the human down, it carried them far beyond the studio grounds, out to the edge of the property, and placed them on the sidewalk with precision. Then, in a voice that seemed to resonate deep in the chest, it issued its final warning. Approach again, and you will be removed again. Forcefully. Don't glitch. Stop doing that. Every time it glitches and it's creepy. Stop it. It turned without waiting for a response, massive form striding back toward the building with the same slow, deliberate confidence. When the Guardian returned to you, its eyes had softened back to that calm, reassuring blue. It knelt slightly, lowering its head. Threat removed. You are safe. Why did it say that so slowly and creepily? How would you feel if a robot, even if it was being sweet and kind, how would you feel if all of a sudden it was speaking normally, being, oh yeah, everything is fine, owner? And then all of a sudden it, started glitching out or speaking really creepily slow. Yeah, just threat removed and you are safe. How would you feel about that? That would be horrifying. That's like a nightmare. No. Again, guys, I was going to continue, but we're actually having a good run, so I am not going to continue from here. I am not letting it get ruined. After I finally had a good run, it's not getting ruined. Not happening, 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 not happening.